Hello and welcome to the Coast Fork Model Railroad. I'm Larry and this is my world in N scale. Today's video, I want to share something that I've been thinking about for some time. I experienced it even today when some people came by to look at the layout. They were, or they are, outside of the world of model railroading, so it was all fairly new to them. They kind of pictured my layout when they heard about it as something you put around the Christmas tree, or that you can pack it up at the end of the day and put it up the next day. But that changed as soon as they walked through the door, their expressions. And I want this to be about details. I'm a detailed, I think anyway, in my layout. And I like to focus on areas of my scenery with as much detail as I can find. And I'm finding out that when people come to see the layout and they're not of the model railroad family, that they miss all the details. They see the big picture. They see the size of it maybe, or whatever. And one of the persons this morning said, well, can you make something run? Well, sure, I can make something run. So I did for them. But anyway, I thought this might be a good video to share with you when you have visitors come that are not of the model railroad family. In this first video there, one of the big details that I just added recently is the wires on the power lines. Now look at that. You can see the wires. A lot of times the wires are black thread or brown thread and you can't even see them. So I painted them white so that people could see them, and so that I could avoid knocking into them, when I'm around. So let me move about the layout here and just show you some of the details that I'm talking about. We'll go over here to Glow's Camp Glow, and first of all, you have to point out some of the details. I don't know if you can see it or not, but in that picture are some fishermen getting out of the boat with their catch, and next to them is a couple geese in the water. Those things have to be pointed out. To me it's pretty normal, and I don't focus on them so much, but for the average person to come and look at your layout, you have to take the time and patience to share with them what it is they're looking at. In this scene here, this is a river. Okay, fine, that's a river. They have no idea how it was made. So I tell them it was made out of toilet paper and glue on a blue base. And they're amazed. One of the guys this morning came to me and came up to me and said, well, what's all this sand for? And so I explained to them that that's the ballast, that railroads use to support the rails and the ties. So anyway, as I go around the layout, there's a farm or a vineyard over here that's named after my great-granddaughter Colette, and those are the Colette vineyards. And so anyway, I explain that to them, and then they start looking closely at it and they say, oh my, there's this and there's that. And but if I hadn't have focused them or taken them to it, they would have never seen it. And in our local area here, there was a barn that had Dr. Pierce's pills on it, and I had the decal made that modeled that. And one of the people here said, oh my goodness, that's really detailed. And so I guess it is. And then simply, the mountains and all that stuff and the rocks, they have no idea how those things are made. So I spent time showing them how I use the cardboard strips first of all, and then the plaster cloth. And then I don't use plaster Paris anymore. It's just too messy. I have found, I've mentioned it before in other videos, that I have found a material called concrete concrete. What is the name of that material? Excuse me just a minute. Let me look over here and I'll show you the tub. Concrete patch. It's made by DAP. It's pre-mixed and not messy at all, and easy to use. Doesn't dry right away, so you have time to sculpt it and mold it around. This is Arthurville. This is named after my first great-grandson Arthur, and so he appreciates that when he comes to take a look at it. Down here in our area, there's a excursion train that used to run out of our town, and it was called the Blue Goose. And so get that to focus in there a little bit, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, the Blue Goose steam locomotive that had a couple of excursion cars that used to go out of town, and so I pulled up pictures of it and painted it. Anyway, some of the locals here just they're amazed at that kind of, and I take it for granted because, you know, it's something I enjoy doing, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Over here is the mill, because we're in an area where lumber is the key to things. You see that wigwam right there, that burner that used to go in years and years ago? Well, you can't imagine how many people come and say, what is that? They have no idea what it is. And so I get to explain to them what it's for, and why are the logs in the pond down here, you know, and how do they get into the building, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I have a lot of fun. Just you know, it's a lot of fun, and humbling, I suppose, to be able to show people the details that you put into your layout, because it's different and there's no other one like it. It's unique. It's the details make your layout unique. And so you want to share those things. Over here is Harlow Farms, and that must be my great-granddaughter Harlow, right? Yeah, that's it. And so I have the Harlow Farms. And one guy this morning looked over here at Walton and Sons lumberyard, and just came unglued when he saw a little forklift taking the lumber off of the truck. And he thought that was just amazing. And then one guy said to me, do you have any animals? And so I said, well, yeah, look around. And I said, if you look real close, you saw the car there. I'm in half of a double garage. But anyway, I said, yeah, you look, and there's some horseback riders. Let's get them on there. There they are. And those kind of details are really important to share. And then I said, if you look real close, there's some deer. Not having much luck focusing my camera today. Sorry about that. Anyway, the deer are there. And then finally, like I said, that's Camp Glow, named after my wife Gloria. And this is a new area that I'm working on right now. Kind of an older town, and so on and so forth. So finally, I'm going to come down here to a train of logs, which is very prominent here in our town. And the locomotive that runs through our town from the Corp, C-O-R-P company. And that's the color that is. I custom paint all my locomotives and cars and stock, rolling stock. That's fun. And if you look real close, you can actually see the wires of the telephone posts. I hope, yeah, there they are. And you see why I painted them white. They're very visible, and I avoid running into them. And over here is an area that I haven't developed yet with any industry or anything. I just don't know yet what I want to put in there. But anyway, to wrap this up, the details of your layout need to be pointed out to people, because there's people going to come and take a look at it that have no concept